Current Affairs. This is Akashvani. In the weekly program Current Affairs, now we bring you a discussion on India AI Impact Summit, a roundup. The participants are Professor Anshu Joshi, International Affairs Expert, Dr. Preet Singh, Vice President, Strategy at Blue Machines AI, Sri Harsh Nallamilli, Head of Strategic Partnerships, Wadhwani Foundation. Moderator is Anubha Rohatgi.
Welcome to Akashvani's Current Affairs program, where today we are discussing the India AI Impact Summit, a roundup of the event. Joining me in this discussion are three eminent guests. Dr. Preet Deep Singh, VP Blue Machines AI. He was also a speaker at one of the events at the summit. Also joining us in this program are Sri Harsha Nallamalli, Head of Strategic Partnerships, Wadhwani Foundation, and Professor Anshu Joshi, International Affairs Expert. A very warm welcome to all of you. Dr. Singh, I want to begin with you. The India AI Impact Summit is the first summit on this issue to be hosted by a developing country. Would you say that the summit has emerged as a defining geopolitical and technological moment for India as a leading AI power?
Definitely. And in terms of leadership, I think what this also denotes is how India is positioning itself not just as a rising voice across the globe, but also as a representative of the global south. I met a representative from an African country today who said, we are so proud to see this actually happening in a country for the global south, and we feel there is something that we can connect to, something that we can use. I think that is very big. Also, it's more of a natural alignment of the stars, as we say. If you see how the geopolitics right now is playing out, I think the fact that India is hosting this summit with participation from 100 countries, 20 heads of state, I think it's just come out to be a very, very opportune moment for India to position itself.
Like I said at the beginning, you were a keynote speaker at one of the events in this summit. Can you tell us a little more about what the event was?
Just about my session, somebody came to me before the session and they said, sir, are you going to be speaking? I said, yes. They said, will you be covering how we can be employable?
Okay.
And these were first year college students. And for a moment, I was almost taken aback because I don't know if I've ever thought in such a mature way. You look at the number of people who had come to attend sessions to gain something, and you realize that there is an insatiable hunger in India, in Indians, to use this technology, leverage and pole vault to the next step. In terms of the number of people participating, the people who've showcased excellent technologies, I think this has been an eye-opener for all participants, and through the media you see everybody in the world is now realizing where India stands in terms of application of AI and users of AI.
Mr. Nallamalli, you were at the summit, so how has been your experience at the Impact Summit?
We were exhibiting at India AI Impact Summit right from 16th onwards, and so far the experience has been amazing. We were showing our all core initiatives, and we have met a lot of students who are interested or who are motivated towards entrepreneurship, and we have students who are very interested in our skilling programs, and we have also met a lot of government delegates. We met state pavilions. We have seen incubation hubs presenting their startups. So overall, it was great to be at the AI Impact Summit. And we have seen a huge range of innovation happening in AI, and a lot of entrepreneurs coming up with their unique and innovative solutions.
How do you see India in the emerging AI landscape, and how do you think it'll strengthen its position in the world of AI?
So this AI Impact Summit 2026 in itself is a sign that India is actually progressing when it comes to AI. Now that we have all the international delegation and all the top CEOs of companies who are doing something great in AI, they are all in India. They have witnessed the capability of our nation when it comes to AI. And obviously, thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, where he is the one who has made this possible, bringing in investments, bringing in talent, bringing in the top level people across the IT sector to come to India and to witness what India is doing in AI. So overall, it's something where we are definitely progressing, but there is a lot more to achieve as well, which I'm sure we will be doing it.
Dr. Singh, my next question is to you. So we were talking about the session that you were speaking at. Can you give us a little more details about what the session was about?
The session looked at what the government is doing, what the private sector is doing, and what the academic sector is doing in terms of making students employable. And what came out of the session was that, one, jobs will definitely undergo a transformation. ATM machines and bank tellers, everybody is so familiar with this story that the number of bank tellers actually went up. But instead of just counting notes, bank tellers are today relationship managers. Bank tellers today tell you about other products. They talk to you. They are your advisors, right? So that role underwent a change. The second is AI is enabling a lot of people to do a lot more. So we will see people who couldn't understand how to, let's say, make a website, now have access to that technology. The third thing, and this is something new that's coming out, is a forward deployment engineer or an FDE. So this is a new role that's coming up, and they said we need students who can sit and also manage human systems. See, deploying an IT system sounds like an easy job, but the people system around that also has to be managed. So the engineer will have to now also have a human side to them. A lot of new jobs are coming up, and existing jobs will undergo a transformation, and the amount of effort the government, the private sector and the education sector is putting in is immense.
Since you're talking about the government, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi also addressed the summit, and he spoke about the Manov, India's Manov vision for artificial intelligence. So let's first listen to what he meant by this Manov vision.
आज न्यू दिल्ली एआई इम्पैक्ट समिट में मैं एआई के लिए MANAV मानव विजन प्रस्तुत करता हूं। मानव का अर्थ होता है ह्यूमन, और मानव विजन कहता है M मोरल एंड एथिकल सिस्टम्स, यानी एआई एथिकल गाइडेंस पर आधारित हो। A अकाउंटेबल गवर्नेंस, यानी ट्रांसपेरेंट रूल्स, रोबस्ट ओवरसाइट, एंड नेशनल सॉवरेनिटी, यानी जिसका डेटा उसका अधिकार। ए एक्सेसिबल एंड इंक्लूसिव, यानी एआई मोनोपोली नहीं, मल्टीप्लायर बने। वी वैलिड एंड लेजिटिमेट, यानी एआई लॉफुल और वेरीफाइबल हो। भारत का ये मानव विजन 21वीं सदी की एआई आधारित दुनिया में मानवता के कल्याण की अहम कड़ी बनेगा।
Dr. Singh, we just heard the Prime Minister elaborating on his Manav vision. So one thing that has struck me is when he spoke about accessibility and inclusivity. And if you look at the speakers that came, the theme of this event is also Sarvjan Hitai, Sarvjan Sukhai. So it is talking about democratization is one consistent theme. So when our Prime Minister Modi, be it the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres or OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, they've all spoken about it. So how significant is this call for democratization of AI?
Let me just divide this into access, application and utility, right? If you look at access, I'll give you a very simple example. My grandmother and a rickshaw puller can both use WhatsApp. They are both probably not as literate, they both can't type, but they can use voice. India is a voice first country. Now with voice comes one major complication, which is vernacular. In terms of access, India will have to move to a voice plus vernacular model, which of course also works for most of our global south brethren and most people across the world. So one is that. The second is the application layer. If you look at the amount of encouragement that an event of this scale being hosted by India has provided to the application layer, they have invited people to showcase their solutions across the board. I think that is really amazing. It is democratizing who can come in. In fact, there is a special session on AI by her, which means encouraging women to bring up AI solutions. And the third is the foundation layer, right? This is the tricky part. Under the 10,000 crore India AI mission, I think more than a fifth is dedicated to developing sovereign foundational models. And a part of those is going to be open source. So if you see, all three components are being taken care of by the Indian government. The sort of work that we do is around voice AI. I understand this problem very closely. And I also see the impact that a student, let's say in Jharsuguda today, can have with a AI powered, let's say, interview preparation module that somebody in Kota probably had, but this person did not, because you don't have those seniors, you don't have educated people in the family, you don't get good opportunities. But now those opportunities are actually getting out. You actually have people who can appear with the same level of prep irrespective of where they started in life. I think these are application layers of democratization of AI that are going to be very significant in the coming years.
And Before we move forward in the program, let's listen to Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav, what he said at the summit.
Stanford University AI Index places India among the leading countries in AI adoption, AI talent, and AI diffusion. But we are also conscious of the challenges, and to mitigate it, we are working with the industry and academia to upskill, reskill, and to build a new talent pipeline for this new intelligence age. While we harness the benefits of AI, we must also find collective solutions for mitigating the risks. By placing human safety and dignity at the heart of AI, we can move forward with conviction. Let us shape an AI future of the humans, by the humans, and for the humans.
Mr. Nalamali, my next question is to you. How is your foundation, the Wadhwani Foundation, working to strengthen AI infrastructure for the country?
So Wadhwani Foundation is a not-for-profit organization. It's a philanthropic initiative started by our founder, Dr. Romesh Wadhwani. So where we work on a mission of creating jobs, family-sustaining jobs. And we work basically in 4 core initiatives, that is entrepreneurship, skilling, government digital transformation, and innovation and research. So all the programs, all the platforms that we develop within the foundation has AI on the top of it. So we are very much empowered with the technology, and we have incorporated AI in all our platforms that we have developed.
Dr. Singh, can you also talk to us a little bit about your own entity, that is the Blue Machines?
Everything is digital across the world. To enable people to use digital, you have to bring in literacy, AI literacy, and connectivity. There are a lot of jurisdictions across the world, across the country. The answer to that, as I said, is going to be voice AI. What we do is we orchestrate different models so that at any given point in time, irrespective of whether one model is up, one model is down, one model is costly or suited for something else, the right model gets picked up and it works in enterprise guardrails. What is enterprise guardrails? So for example, if you talk to any of these bots on your phone, on your machine, it's possible that they say something that is incorrect, hallucinations, right? It's possible that they don't remain consistent. At the same time, you also want them to stick to what it is. If you are speaking to, let's say, your bank and you say, what is my balance? You do not want it to hallucinate. If you're speaking to your insurance agency and it gives your data off to somebody else, that's a problem. We are solving for enterprise use cases for AI. So how can enterprises use a 99.99% uptime guaranteed guardrailed sort of a model to reach out to their customers in human voice? You don't have to be completely accurate. Now, can we speak like you and I are talking right now? This is what we're doing.
From the organization point of view, you were there. How is the management? Because there are a lot of talk about how there is a little bit of chaos and things maybe not, up to the mark. So how is the management there?
Let me just put this in perspective. The largest events that we had done, like Semicon India, would have 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 people. How many people would you have expected ex ante for this event? Maybe 1 lakh people.
Right.
You have 250,000 registrations and more than 4 lakh people had applied for those registrations.
My God, yes.
At one point, how many events do we concurrently have? 4, 5, 7? We concurrently, right now, if we were to go back to Bharat Mandapam, we will have concurrent 25 events happening across every meeting room, every corner. And these are only the ones in Bharat Mandapam. There are other events in plenary halls and everything. The sheer scale of people who are participating, 100 countries participating, it is a humongous task. I think there hasn't been a bigger AI event in the world in history. So we are creating history. And I think more important than anything else is how the ministry took feedback, how the MeitY team took feedback and improved on it.
And at this point in program, let us hear this report from Akashvani correspondent to know more about the activities and key highlights of Day 1 and Day 2 at the India AI Impact Summit.
The AI Impact Summit 2026 at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi began with great energy and excitement. Delegates, government officials, technology experts, startup founders and students arrived in large numbers. India and other countries spoke about how artificial intelligence can be used in a responsible and inclusive way. People discussed topics like AI rules, startup growth, data safety, and how new technology can change the economy. As the sessions progressed, it became clear that the event is very large. The exhibition areas were crowded with people looking at AI tools for healthcare, farming, robotics, and education. Many panel discussions happened centered around the same time. Speakers spoke about ethical use of AI, global cooperation, and making technology available to everyone. On the second day, focus shifted towards policies and practical use of AI. Experts and officials were discussing AI laws, partnerships between government and private companies, and how AI can help in sectors like agriculture, health, climate change, and education. The discussions were more focused on solutions and safety measures. International guests spoke about working together, and Indian leaders highlighted the plans to develop AI systems that benefit both cities and villages. Business leaders met young innovators to explore new ideas and finding opportunities. The summit gave a clear message that artificial intelligence is already shaping our lives and economies. The event shows both excitement about technology and responsibility towards using it wisely. As sessions continued, the summit became a strong platform where important ideas about the future of AI are being discussed and shaped. Shagun Chopra, Akashvani News, Delhi.
Professor Joshi, I was just talking to Dr. Singh about the unprecedented scale at which this event is being held. So, right after the fact that coming on the heels of the India-EU FTA last month, how does this unprecedented participation show Europe's keen interest in collaborating with India, especially in the current geopolitical scenario? What would you say to that? How significant is it?
Definitely, I would also like to connect this whole event to what is happening in the world at the moment and how India is trying to turn the wheel in a very positive direction with its positive, all-inclusive AI diplomacy, I would say.
Right.
And this flagship event of India, we hosted it in New Delhi, observed an unprecedented number of participation, both in terms of the leaders that have attended the summit. I think more than 20 heads of state or government and 60 ministers have attended this event. And more than 100 countries have represented themselves in the event. And over 100 global CEOs, including Sundar Pichai from Google and Jensen Huang from NVIDIA and Demis from Google DeepMind and other leaders have also participated in the event. And it was also nice to see delegation from European Union also, which participated, with whom we have recently signed an FTA and an historical defense framework. So this actually shows India's commitment towards all-inclusive AI, as in the theme itself spoke about Sarvajan Hitaya, Sarvajan Sukhaya, which means welfare for all, happiness for all. And in the inaugural session, our Prime Minister also stated that AI should be human-centric. So that's where he spoke about this Manov vision also. So this framework for AI governance should be like moral and ethical systems. It should be accountable, with accountable governance, with national sovereignty, accessible, inclusive and valid and legitimate. So that makes Manov vision. And definitely what is happening in the world at the moment, wherein we see two open theaters of war, and we also see that how a couple of countries are also ready to get into another chapter of conflict, like what is happening between US and Iran. Amid all such turbulent events and times, India actually opens a window of hope by hosting this event wherein apart from the leaders, people also participated in a very good number, huge number. And I would also like to state here that this was the first in the whole series of hosting AI summits wherein a global South nation hosted this summit. So this has happened for the first time. So this also opens the kind of bridge between global North and South, which India is trying to make or do since a long time, wherein we are trying to bridge this gap between global North and South.
Let's listen to this report from our correspondent on the key highlights and events that took place on day 3 and 4 of the summit.
The third day of the India AI Impact Summit began with the opening ceremony of the Research Symposium, in which Electronics and IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav stressed that India is strongly focused on AI for solving real-world problems. The minister categorically emphasized that the country is prioritizing the use of AI to improve productivity in enterprises and to address population-scale challenges such as healthcare, agriculture and climate change. Later, in the day, India set a Guinness World Record with more than 250,000 AI responsibility pledges in 24 hours at AI Summit. Guinness World Records adjudicator Praveen Patel said that the record-setting participation exceeded the initial target of 5,000 pledges. Closed-door meetings were also held on the third day. The 7 thematic chakras reflect India's effort to channel global expertise and shared perspectives into actionable frameworks: human capital, inclusion for social empowerment, safe and trusted AI, resilience, innovation and efficiency, science, democratizing AI resources, and AI for economic development and social good. These working groups engaged experts from government, academia, industry, civil society, and international partners, shaping deliverables through months of consultation and evidence-based dialogue, reinforcing the summit's transition from vision to implementation across AI and practice. Day 4 of the session saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi address the leaders' plenary session. He said the aspirations and priorities of the global south must be placed at the center of AI governance as the world discusses the future of technology. In his keynote address at the AI Impact Summit 2026, Prime Minister Modi unveiled India's comprehensive Manov vision for artificial intelligence, outlining a human-centric framework for ethical, accountable and inclusive AI governance. A number of dignitaries also addressed sessions on day 4, and it was also announced that Switzerland will host the AI Impact Summit 2027 in Geneva, which will strengthen the country's position in digital policy. It was announced by President of Swiss Confederation Guy Parmelin also announced on day 4 that the AI Impact Summit in 2027 will be held in Geneva. Diksha Saxena, Akashvani News, Delhi.
Professor Doshi, India has its India AI mission, which is, as Dr. Singh was also telling us a little while ago, it's a more than 10,000 crore rupee mission. So how is the government of India policies and initiatives creating an atmosphere for India to position itself as a builder, regulator and a talent hub in the field of AI? You were there at the event. What kind of feedback have you seen from the participants?
Yes, I was amazed to see the participation and enthusiasm from people of all walks of the life, of all age group, and they had come from different places, different regions, and I connected AI with global politics and how with this new AI diplomacy, India is trying to promote Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Sarvajan Hitaya and Sarvajan Sukhaya. So that also aligns with our AI policy, which talks about leveraging artificial intelligence for social inclusion, for providing benefit to a person sitting at the fag end of the corner in a society, and ensuring economic growth of all while adopting a light touch regulatory approach. So our AI framework is anchored by our India AI mission and with comprehensive governance guidelines which have 7 sutras. So in 2025 itself, we have come up with our governance guidelines, which provides a principle-based framework. And this is centered on 7 sutras or principles to ensure safe and trusted AI. It includes innovative technologies and ways and means, fairness and equity, accountability, understandable by design. So like focuses on transparency, safety and resilience, digital by digital governance and inclusive innovation. So our India AI mission actually has an outlay of over 10,300 crore, and this is the primary vehicle for AI development in India, and that's where we talk about scaling high-end GPU capacity with a target of 10,000 plus to provide affordable access for startups and entrepreneurs, researchers also. India is also establishing its innovation center not only in India but in other countries also. Like when we had a bilateral talk with France, this is what both the countries have announced. Then we talk about AI Kosh, wherein like a data set platform that can host over 5,500 data sets to train different AI models, AI future skills, safe and trusted AI, startup financing, application development. So by all these frameworks and regulatory mechanisms and ways and means, India is trying to create an atmosphere wherein AI should be seen from a very positive light, with which it can enable our life and it can enable our future from global politics' point of view also in a much better way than, we can imagine.
You're talking about, of course, India-France partnership you just mentioned. So here, at this point, let me bring in what French President Emmanuel Macron had to say at the summit.
India built something that no other country in the world has built. a digital identity for 1.4 billion people. A payment system that now processes 20 billion transactions every month. A health infrastructure that has issued 500 million digital health IDs. Here are the results. They call it the India Stack, open, interoperable, sovereign. That, dear friends, is what this summit is about. We are clearly at the beginning of a huge acceleration.
Dr. Singh, I'll come back to you. Apart from, of course, praising India, President Macron said that India has done what no other country could do. He also pointed out to the fact that he is determined to ensure safe oversight of fast evolving technology. And he said, I'll quote him, that we are determined to continue to shape the rules of the game with our allies such as India. So one thing, it's not just democratization that was a prevalent theme at the event. Another theme is the dangers. And Sam Altman also spoke about the dangers of centrality, making AI just central to some countries, some corporations, and the need for a regulation. What do you have to say for that?
So if you look at the world right now with different approaches, China has an approach where the collective comes above individual privacy. EU has the AI Act, and the American way is a more laissez-faire approach where they're letting it do. I think what India is doing is the Indian way, which is we are regulating harm. It could be bullying, it could be some sort of libel, it could be any sort of harm that AI is causing you. You are regulating that, but you're not regulating the technology. I think what that allows is it prevents premature guardrails that prevent the technology from blossoming. World over, if you see any industry, any new industry that has come up, it comes up despite the government. It doesn't come up because of the regulations. I think India has taken a wonderful approach of saying that this is not the answer. We will regulate harm. I think that's a wonderful thing and give us a dividend in the next 5 years.
OpenAI CEO Sam Altman praised India's progress in the field of AI. Let's listen to what he had to say.
It's really a treat to be here in India, and it's incredible to see the country's leadership in advanced AI. I was last here a little over a year ago, and it's striking how much progress has happened since then. We've gone from AI systems that struggled with high school level math to systems that can do research level mathematics now and derive novel results in theoretical physics. It's also striking how much progress India has made in its mission to put AI to work for more people in more parts of the country. And India's leadership in sovereign AI, building on infrastructure, SLMs, and much more, has been great to watch.
Professor Joshi, I'll come back to you. What were the main key takeaways of the summit?
First and foremost, this human-centric Manov vision that our Prime Minister spoke about, and it brilliantly connected human angle to AI governance. And then the second one is like how AI can be used, can be leveraged or characterized as a multiplier of human capability instead of a threat by adopting a comprehensive, this human-centric approach, of course. And apart from that, another very important point is related to combating misinformation and manipulation by creating accurate general information among people. And that's what we did by making it like a people's show or program wherein peoples from all walks of their lives participated in this summit. So people should not be seen as data points only. And that's where, it aligns with our AI policy direction also, wherein we talk about AI for all. And apart from that, since I teach global politics, right, I would like to say that you can see a lot of challenges at the moment because this AI thing is in transformation phase. But what we have done, it signifies a distinct turning point in the integration of AI with foreign policies and with the broader context of global politics. So this is what India has started by promoting this AI diplomacy for betterment of all.
That was Dr. Joshi talking from the diplomacy point of view, from technological point of view. Dr. Singh, would you like to add something as a key takeaway?
I think the future is going to be really, really great with the scale at which Indians are keen to take up on AI.
Professor Joshi, Dr. Singh and Sriharsha Nallamalli, thank you so much for joining us in this conversation.
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
You were listening to a discussion on India AI Impact Summit, a roundup. The participants were Professor Anshu Joshi, International Affairs Expert, Dr. Preet Singh, Vice President Strategy at Blue Machines AI, Shri Harsh Nallamalli, Head of Strategic Partnerships, Wadhwani Foundation. The moderator was Anubha Rohatgi. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928-909-4044.
Current Affairs.